What's up? It's the Hicksey Nana podcast. Today we're joined by Nana's brother, Kelvin. Kelvin, say hi to the people.
What's up, people? How are you today?
Alright, last night there was a monumental sporting event going down at the T-Mobile Arena. Conor McGregor versus Khabib. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name.
I don't even
The Eagle!
the Eagle, Khabib.
So Khabib came in, knocked out Conor with a rear naked chokehold at the end of the fight. An unbelievable win. Dave, did you see it coming?
Again, I didn't know anything about this guy. I did some research on him. Again, I thought, because Conor McGregor, I've seen him fight before, and he's
a powerhouse.
He's a powerhouse. So
punch.
I was a little bit worried about Khabib. And then I did research on him, and I was like, okay, maybe Conor should be trembling in his boots.
His little leprechaun boots.
Yeah, in his leprechaun boots. But because this guy does not mess around. He wrestles bears. He trains in high altitude mountains.
Yeah, talk about that. He grew up in a tough part of Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And his training was almost like one of those like montages you see in like a movie. Like it was crazy. And anyways, so again, fight day came. I was like, okay, Conor could still.
Yeah. So what were you guys? I came in with. I told everyone I knew. I was like, Khabib is gonna get McGregor. He's gonna take him to the ground, and McGregor's not gonna get out. But what did you guys think before the fight?
Again, after the research I did, no.
So you were Team Khabib?
Yeah, no, I was Team Khabib before.
I came in thinking that McGregor was gonna take the win. I didn't know much about Khabib, so I was wrong apparently. So yeah, I was surprised, and I had no idea. Because when I look at McGregor, he doesn't look like the kind of guy who would tap out, but he did.
Well, when you have a reverse naked chokehold,
and
it wasn't he wasn't even grabbing his neck; he was grabbing his chin.
Yeah,
and it was like almost twisting his neck to a point where he like could have broke his neck.
Yeah, honestly.
So,
I don't blame him for tapping out, but he didn't look. I don't know.
But again, before the fight, though, words were exchanged, and pretty harsh words were exchanged.
Well, the backstory, if you guys do, none of you guys know.
You can give us a quick
quick breakdown on the backstory. Basically, Khabib was, it's still like fuzzy. It's really up in there. But Khabib was messing with McGregor's guys at like the Barclays Center. McGregor hears about this. He's in Ireland at the time. Him and like 40 other people get on a private jet from Ireland to the Barclays Center, and then basically tag team up, surround Khabib's bus, knocking on, trying to get him out so they could beat him up or whatever, fight him, and so that's kind of where the beef started, and then words were exchanged. Of course, Khabib is from Russia
and Muslim,
so he's Muslim, so they're going up against they're talking shit about his religion, they're talking stuff about his heritage, talking about his parents. So McGregor's he's a big talker.
He's a potty mouth, as they say.
I feel like throughout the entire process, Khabib was, of course, he wasn't happy, but it was, if anything, McGregor like fueled Khabib with anger, which for the most part, McGregor does that. He gets his opponents angry. They come out kind of overpowered, but Khabib was focused.
Yeah,
and I feel like that was kind of the difference.
You could even tell from like the when they were doing their weigh-ins, their first press or whatever.
Press conference.
Because again, usually I've seen Khabib. Again, I did the research. Usually Khabib, comes up to you, shakes your hand, smirk on his face. He's a little bit. Not cocky per se, but he's a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
But this particular conference, Khabib, usually Dana White,
Dana White.
Usually his hands are like this. Usually the opponents come right up to his hands, so he gets to like separate them physically. But Khabib kept his distance, and then Conor was like, "I'm gonna fucking take your head off." Well, I don't know what Conor says. And anyways, so Khabib was just there. He was just focused. He was kind of almost. He looked kind of dead a little bit, so I was a little bit worried about that. But meanwhile, again, he was mentally psyching himself. I was preparing because he knew that, okay, this is actually gonna fuel me, and I'm actually gonna kill this guy now. So I think my opinion, that's what he did. He used Conor's plan backfired. In my opinion,
Conor's cockiness.
Yeah, it backfired on him hardcore. Usually works. Usually
Yeah.
His taunts
He can
work.
talk a big game, but he can also back it up, and that's the thing about him.
But Connor, but like this time it didn't
Yeah.
work.
So let's get to the fight itself. Watching the fight, for me, very difficult process. Was not willing to pay that $100. So I'm going through Instagram Live. I'm going through YouTube Live.
Yeah,
Eventually, I find a stream that some kid is recording with his iPhone onto his TV. So I'm finally now able to see what is going on. But so after all that, we finally get to the fight. Khabib came out, and it was kind of a risky move. He actually dropped to the ground, wrapped up McGregor by his knees, and was able to get an initial takedown. For most of that first round, he really didn't get any good punches in, but he was able to keep position up top and really not let McGregor do his thing on the stand-up.
Yeah, I know, because I observed that a lot. Again, you told me he was a ground-based attacker, so again, I keep hacking him back to the research. So I've been watching him, and what he does is he wrestles them. Apparently, he's really good at that. So he wrestles them to the ground.
That's really where, that's where he makes his money.
Yeah. He wrestles them to the ground over time. It makes them tired because wrestling. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
Trust me,
tires
it's
them
much
out.
more harder than throwing punches standing up straight.
Yeah, but in McGregor's defense, he did a very good job when he was on the ground of defending.
Oh, yeah.
Never really let a big shot go in that
Yep.
first round. It wasn't until that second round when it really started to get ugly. And it started with that left hand that he put on McGregor.
Yep.
That stunned him a little bit. You could tell it got him.
Yeah, he kind of fell back towards the cage, and then Habib did his thing, and then for a second there just a bunch of haymakers on the floor, side punches.
I thought they were gonna call it in the second round.
So did I.
I was mad. I texted you because I thought they should have ended the fight because McGregor was not defending himself for a very long amount of time. He was taking some big punches. In McGregor's defense, he did hold up pretty well.
Again, surprised. I was expecting him to like either pass out or just like gush out blood because he was getting bludgeoned with like steel fists.
Yeah, so he was eating punches there in the second round, and it looked like it was over. But what I told you was like, oh no, it's the third round, fourth round. Khabib used a lot of energy to get in those punches. Even though McGregor's taking these punches, he took them, but he still got a lot of energy. Khabib used a lot of that energy. The third round comes, McGregor looked a lot better. He was able to stay off the ground for, I'd say, probably the first half of that. Of the third round, and was able to. I think he won the third round, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did, honestly, because again, he was able. Khabib took a lot of. He also took a lot of hits.
I think he went for 3 takedown attempts, 3 or 4, and I think 2 or 3 he missed. He missed.
Yeah,
the last he got the one at the end, but wasn't really able to do much once he got to the ground.
Yeah, it was just kind of again like a rest hold, which will pay off in the next round because those rest holds or whatever, those wrestling moves or whatever, they were not only the opponent, not only you as the person wrestling the guy down, but also the opponent. So because you're trying to struggle to break it off, and that makes you that gasses you out, if that makes sense. Right. But then again, fourth round.
Fourth round, of course, this is the finisher. This is when the Khabib's able to finally get position. He was able to get McGregor to the fence, and I saw he was able to get a good top mount position and was just able to secure that, and it was only like inevitable really for him to get to that rear naked chokehold position, and then eventually ended the fight, and the fight's over now. We think it's over. We think we're all right, turn it off, whatever. But that's really when the action just began to happen.
It took a freaking
It took
dive.
It took a
big
turn for the
turn.
world.
Oh yeah,
Right.
That he leaped over that fence.
So the story about that is, I guess McGregor's corner was chirping at Khabib. Khabib just
wasn't having any.
He went postal. It just like something snapped off in his head. Jumps over.
Jump is an understatement. More like
He
you
just
flew over. I've never seen such athleticism in my life before.
Yeah.
I mean,
gets over the octagon and he starts just throwing haymakers.
oh man,
Keeps going in.
There's a big mess going on in there. And then, during the meantime, Khabib's corner, they jump into the octagon. One of the guys...
like was wearing red.
He was wearing red.
He was able to
sucker punches McGregor right in the back of the head after he just got knocked
Roughed
out.
Yeah.
And...
Wow.
I can't
that's
imagine.
kind of just... everything started breaking loose.
Yeah. I don't think you understand how I had no words. I was shocked. I was in awe. I was like,
everyone
I've never seen something so extreme before.
And then Dana White, he's trying to just get control of the place.
Yeah.
Khabib's mad. He's yelling. He says he wants his belt. Dana goes, listen, it's like, I'm not giving you the belt. It's like, if I give you the belt, things are just gonna get worse.
Yeah, I gotta give respect to Dana.
Yeah, I think Dana.
He handled the situation.
He handled it as well as it
professionally as possible.
Yeah, because again, if he'd given the belt to Khabib, I think we would have been seeing like bullets fired at the guy.
I'm sure the Irish
army
chucking a bunch of golds at him, bunch of gold coins at him.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to really see Khabib kind of like break out of that character. Because remember the entire time he was keeping
focused.
All that anger, energy. I feel like at the end of the fight,
he was just done. He was just done.
Yeah, the guy.
He wasn't taking any of that. But man, that was something.
But now, the day after the fight, Dana White he doesn't know if he could potentially strip Khabib of his title that he won, so he could potentially lose his belt.
Yeah.
As a result, which would be unfortunate because Khabib fought.
He put on a clinic.
I mean, that was a 4-round absolute domination from McGregor.
Oh yeah. So no question in that one. But yeah, no, it would be a shame because I do understand why Khabib would be going back to the whole the whole jumping fence thing. I would because. The guy was not only insulting like his heritage, he was insulting his father, his religion. I mean, personally, if someone did that to me, I think I'd be doing the same. Well, maybe not jumping like he did. That was just something else. Yeah. But I'd be like, hey, buddy, want to not do that?
I can understand why he's angry.
Yeah. But and then the opposite side too. You want to be a professional. You don't want to let people get to you. People who are not even in the ring get to you. So you got to look at it both ways, but I'm going to lean more on the Khabib defending himself way because I mean you don't mess with a man's family or religion or any of that stuff. So
completely. So you guys are kind of seeing both sides of the story now. On McGregor's part, I know Dana White in the post-game interview was like, "Oh, both these guys could get suspensions, fines." Honestly, I didn't really see McGregor.
Yeah,
unless I might have missed something. But it seemed like McGregor was the one that was being under attack.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Khabib looked to have done all the damage.
Yeah,
himself.
Khabib was the instigator of the violence there. But Conor McGregor, I mean, he was just gassed. He was getting up. All of a sudden, he got punched in the back of the head, and then he reacted.
I thought when Khabib went up over the octagon, I thought he was just gonna. Because what some guys do is they'll jump up. And they'll sit on top of the octagon.
So
I thought that's what he was doing, and then I saw him leap over. I thought one of his guys might have been getting attacked, but no, he was jumping in McGregor's corner. It was just a totally. Definitely a sporting event.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah, definitely a sporting event we won't be forgetting for a very, very long time.
Oh yeah, yep. I don't. Yeah, no, it's gonna go down as one of. First of all, the whole card, the whole pay-per-view card. I mean, I didn't watch. I watched the Lewis fight. That was another thing I watched too. That guy's a stud. I love that guy. Yeah. He was like, "Hey Trump, I beat up this Russian guy for you." I started dying. And then how Joe Rogan and the other guy, what's his name, Elon Musk. Yeah. He smoked a little bit. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come on your podcast. We're gonna smoke a little bit of weed." And Joe Rogan was like, "Hell yeah, man, let's get it." And I like the Lewis guy. But so far, again, I was watching some of the highlights and everything. The whole card looked pretty solid.
Going into this, again, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan's podcast, and I was watching that, and he was saying, this is going to be a big card. And also on this show, they predicted this to happen. He projected, I forget the guy's name who he was talking to, but he said, he's like, I'm not going to the fight. And Joe was like, what the hell? It's the biggest UFC fight ever. And he's just like, listen, I just feel like something's going to happen. Whoever wins, the Irish and the Russians, someone's gonna be mad. Someone's gonna be fighting. And when I saw that happen, I wasn't as surprised as I guess I should have been because I remember hearing this, and
that adrenaline was in you, so I don't blame you for not being surprised. But that's kind of freaky. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
So imagine being in the crowd when that happened.
Oh, I was watching some of the Snapchat
Did you see
stuff.
Drake?
No, I didn't see Drake.
This is a meme now. He's looking up oh my god.
Yeah, that guy's a meme. But anyways, no. I was looking at the Snapchat things and like everyone was just freaking out in the crowds. Everything was just
Oh yeah, I mean,
looking
I imagine
wild.
it's a terrifying experience.
But anyways,
Yeah, like I said, one of the best sporting events, probably one of the best fights I've seen.
oh yeah, for
Long
sure.
time, something we won't be forgetting a long time. It'll be interesting to see what they do going forward. We'll probably be talking about that in the coming weeks. But from everyone here, Matt, Dave, Kelvin, good little podcast.
Yep.
We'll be seeing you next time.
All right, peace.
See ya.